Here's part 2 to my nitrogen cycle video explaining. I just wanted to explain a little bit of what I did to start my cycle. I gave in 1 week to my fishless cycle. I explained why. I saw the conditions that I saw them in, and I decided to adopt them. They are definitely in cleaner and better water, even though it's going through the cycling process, and that's saying something. The ammonia kind of needs to get to a high enough point to where it'll start forming the bacteria needs to form nitrites, and then the bacteria will start developing it. It needs to form the nitrites into nitrates. So a whole lot of things are forming during this whole process. And a lot of things are spiking, and that's why one wouldn't prefer the fish in cycle. This is kind of like a follow-up video to kind of like uncondone what I'm doing, because I never planned on doing what I'm doing. I would test the water, and if it tested 4 parts per million, I would either change it right away or wait one more day to help the cycling process. And that helped push the development of the nitrosomonas to making the development of nitrites. So right now, what is currently happening in my tank right now is that my ammonia is finished spiking and it's going all the way down. Right now it's at 0.25 parts per million. My nitrite is spiking and I finally have nitrates. Woohoo! Nitrates have been established. They're 20 parts per million, almost towards the dark red. And once that's there, and I have no ammonia, and I have no nitrite, I'll know that it has been cycled. That being said, I still have like a couple more steps because my ammonia is almost reaching 0, but because my nitrite is spiking. It's spiking because it's the ammonia turning into nitrite, so that's where it's going. It's nitrite now. My ammonia is not there, and my nitrite's there now. So that's high, and once my nitrite turns into nitrate, it'll start reading more towards the blue, more towards 0, and then it'll be cycled. Having been said, the cycle never finishes. It's something that it just continues. Obviously, it's a cycle. It says it in its own name. All you really do in accomplishing the first cycle is establishing those 2 bacteria you need to keep it going. And the only thing that you'll have to keep testing for, although I test for everything constantly, is nitrates. Once those get at 40 parts per million, you're going to want to do a water change. Or at any point really when it spikes. That's when I did a water change. And I have seen to show myself that it is working because it's continued the process, the fluctuations that I was told I needed to be seeing. As one goes down, one goes up. That's been happening. And right now it's going towards 0 ammonia. I have a lot of nitrites. Now I have something of nitrates, so that's good. I'm almost there. It's over a month after the establishing. I started either on May 7th, May 7th or 8th. I have it written down. And today I have it going down on ammonia. So that means I'm definitely in a ways of progress. I also took out those 2 amethyst stones because they have jagged edges that I felt wouldn't be helping anything. Very aesthetic, but I took them out and replaced them with these. So they would add some color, some semi-precious stones that are tumbled. With the exception of that pendulum-shaped quartz. Nothing has points on it. And even that's not in a position where it could be rubbed by. So yes, just remember when you do any fish-in or fishless cycle establishing, you need a test. There's no way you can say you've established your cycling of the tank if you haven't even tested it. Like, how do you know? And some people do believe that all you have to do is cycle it by turning on your filter for a couple weeks or a month, and that's all you need. I mean, honestly, if you would have added poop at one point, like the fish water, that's all I would have ended up being done. But then at that point, I wouldn't have known when to do the water changes. It would just spiked and done weird chemistry things that I haven't even looked up would mean what. So I always test it. I always make sure that once it even got up to those parameters, I kept them down. And if I didn't have my fish, I wouldn't have had to do as many water changes during those spikes. That's the only thing that would have changed. And obviously the stress of, thinking you might lose your fish. So I don't condone fish in cycles. I did what I had to do to save them. He's even going through current methylene blue dips because I don't know what's going on with him, so I'm just doing that. Um, I've looked up everything. I think I needed to look up to um establish this nitrogen cycle. And if you've ever randomly lost tanks and your water's clean, it's probably because one of these things were spiking. You know, because you don't see the chemistry just looking at it. You need a test. So this is just me condoning testing and not condoning fish in cycles, but condoning anything you do in an educated manner. Always in an educated manner, never guessing. Write down your stats, keep it up, and just have fun. Cause I know once this is over, I mean, it's not fun. Okay, yes, it's fun. I love doing all this. To me, it's fun, but it's not fun wondering if you're doing something wrong. And I can't wait until that step of the educating process is over for me, at least in some things, like the basics. I can't wait until I know the basics. So please comment and subscribe so I can become educated and educate others along with my videos. Yep. Well, there you go. Bye bye, beta buddies.